my N64 collection. It's not the biggest collection, but N64 definitely holds a special place in my heart for gaming. I got the N64. I actually just found Christmas footage of it. I was 9 years old, I think. And I got the orange N64. I got Donkey Kong 64 and Smash Bros. Those are the games I got. And I love the system, man. So I'm just going to go over the games and give my opinion. I haven't played all of these games because I as a kid, I rented a lot of games. I didn't have the money to buy a bunch of games. So now as an adult, I'm kind of going back and buying some games and trying them out. So some of these games I haven't played. I'm just going to give you a forewarning right now. And I can't really do a deep dive into them. So let's just go ahead and start with the cards only. These are custom boxes I made, and I have some actual boxes over here. We'll get into that later. So Zelda Majora's Mask. I haven't finished this game. I did start it. I'm a big Zelda fan. I didn't like the time system for what I saw of it. I got that for 12 bucks. That was back when you could actually hunt for video games. Really cool cover. It's got the holograph cover on it. I think it's just really cool. I do want to get around to finishing it because I have finished like most of the other Zelda games, so I would like to. But yeah, Majora's Mask. Pokemon Stadium 2. Not as good, in my opinion, as Pokemon Stadium 1, which I spent a ton of time with as a kid with my friends. Pokemon Stadium, if you don't know what that is, I mean, it's pretty much, it's like a battle game, pretty much. You pick your characters, and then you do your battles. It's like turn-based battle game against your friends. Really cool. I love Pokemon Stadium. Star Fox 64, really solid. All the Star Fox games are really solid, especially if you like those kind of flight games, and Star Fox 64 is no exception. Hardcore ECW. I only still have this because this was mine as a kid. I was kind of big into wrestling, and I actually liked wrestling video games. So yeah, this is my original copy. Wave Race 64. This launched with the system. You know, I got the system 4 years after it had launched. I know I did rent this game as a kid, but I never owned it. And the water mechanics in it, I mean, everybody says, oh, the water mechanics are great. Yeah, the water mechanics really is what makes the game. It's just a solid racing game in general. Banjo-Kazooie. I haven't got around to finishing this yet. I have started it. It's a 3D platformer, pretty much, you know, in the vein of Mario and Donkey Kong. Really good from what I could tell. I didn't get very far yet. GoldenEye. I played this a lot growing up. We rented it. My friend had a copy. I didn't have a copy, but I did play it with them a lot. We could have 4-player multiplayer on here. Really fun multiplayer game. It doesn't really hold up much today, but it was really good at the time. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. As a kid, I played these on the PS1. I bought this because it was cheap. I don't know if I have a price now. I bought it because it was cheap, and you know, I love Tony Hawk, so I haven't tried it to see how much different it is from the PS1 games, but I played all the Tony Hawks all the way through. BioFreaks. I have not played this game. I actually don't know why it's got this weird sticker on it. I bought it probably some store, and I just haven't got around to trying it out, so I can't really say much about it. Duke Nukem 64. I actually kind of like this version of Duke Nukem. It's funny. It's got the crude humor, and I don't think I finished it, but I put quite a bit of hours into it. Bass Hunter 64. So I just recently bought this on eBay because it was cheap. It was like complete in box. No manual, but it was complete in box. Or game in box. And it was cheap. It was like $15 or something. And I actually like fishing games. I used to play a lot of fishing games on the PS2 and PS1. So I actually do want to get around to trying this out. Yeah. All right, and then another box game, this original box. Wipeout 64, let me just start by talking about the game. Wipeout 64, it's a really great racing game if you like racing games. Love this game. It actually still holds up pretty well. But I got the box because what I've been trying to do lately is, like, if I have the game, actually this one was box and manual. And I bought the box and manual on eBay. No game, just box and manual for less than, I think it was like $15. And the box was solid, and I already had the cart, so now I have a complete copy. And that's kind of what I've been trying to do, is so I can get some box copies. So, Turok 2. This one I bought like at a flea market a while back, or yard sale, something like that. And this is a complete copy as well. It's actually got a an advertisement for Shadow Man. It's a poster for Shadow Man in there. The Turok games are great. They don't hold up very well, though. I will say that. I tried to go back and play this. I played this a lot. We rented it when I was a kid. Turok 1, 2, and 3. It's pretty good, but you know, a lot of these 64 games don't hold up very well. This is more for nostalgia than anything. But Perfect Dark does hold up pretty well, I think. I think that this is superior over GoldenEye, and you know, people have different opinions on that, but I think that this is a more solid game than GoldenEye. Even though I spent probably more time with GoldenEye, this is definitely the more polished game. And this was the same deal. You know, I had the cart, and somebody was selling the box and manual for less than, you know, I have a rule, like, you know, box, I won't buy a box for more than like $20. So this might have been like $20, box and manual. Yeah. Donkey Kong 64. This is one of the games I got with the system. This game is long as hell. Like, I don't know that I ever even beat it. And then now that we have How Long to Beat, the website, I looked it up, and it's like a 30-hour game, which is really long for a 64 game. And that's probably why I never beat it. But I did play a ton of hours of this game, and it's a really great platformer. And maybe, you know, it's actually in my N64 right now, and maybe I will get around to beating this game now. Diddy Kong Racing. In my opinion, this is better than Mario Kart, which I don't have Mario Kart. I used to have Mario Kart. But I like Diddy Kong Racing better. I think it's just definitely a more polished game. It has more features. Really great kart racer. Cruisin' World. Now, Cruisin' was special to me and because of the arcade. You know, we played Cruisin' in the arcade, you know, constantly. And even today, there's a pizza shop that's got Cruisin' in it around my house. Well, not my house, but around where I grew up. And, yeah, Cruisin's great. This version's actually really good. And, yeah, it's Cruisin'. Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. I rented this game as a kid as well. Never owned it. Now I own it. And I would like to get around to beating it. It's actually a really fun game. You play as little army men, different, you know, environments and stuff. And I liked it as a kid. I haven't played it as an adult, so I don't know how well it's going to hold up. But Yoshi's Story holds up really well. I played this recently and beat it. It's really easy. It's a kiddie game. But, man, the music and, you know, the art and everything, I think it really holds up well. This actually holds up, like, for the 64, this holds up one of the best, I think. Because that art style still holds up today. Unlike the polygon type of art style. Really great game. Pokemon Stadium, this was my favorite one. This is the one I played as a kid with my friends, and you could get the transfer pack. Man, it was great. If you never played Pokemon Stadium and you're a Pokemon fan, definitely try it out. I mean, I don't know that it's going to hold up for you. I definitely have nostalgia for it, but same thing with Pokemon Snap. I have nostalgia for this. This is a game literally where you go around like a safari type environment and you take pictures of Pokemon instead of catching them in your Pokeball. You're just taking pictures of them. There was a new one for the Switch, I think. I don't know if it's come out yet or not. And people like it, but the concept now as an adult seems really dumb. But as a kid, I love this game. Mickey Speedway USA. This is actually a solid kart racer as well. And I bought it, you know, cheap somewhere, like flea market or something, and I was like, we'll see. And it's actually really good. It's a solid kart racer. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time is a great game. I did finish it. I finished most of the Zelda games. It's not my favorite Zelda. I know this is a lot of people's #1 Zelda. For me, it's not. But it's a really good game, and I think that, see, I didn't play this as a kid very much. It was not till I was an older teen that I played it. if I had played this like when I got the N64, it would probably mean more to me than it does now. Maybe. Although that being said, you know, A Link to the Past is probably my favorite, and I didn't play that as a kid either. So I don't know. I love Ocarina of Time. You know, all the Zeldas for me are up there in anywhere from 8 to 10s. So this game is a great game. Glover. Some people don't like Glover. I actually really like it. I mean, it doesn't hold up well today. The graphics don't hold up very well, but it's a 3D platformer. Never finished it, but I did, you know, play it quite a bit. I bought it later in life, and I did play it. It's pretty good. Duke Nukem 0 Hour. This one, in my opinion, was not as good as Duke Nukem 64. I don't think I finished this one because I didn't care for it too much, but yeah. Doom 64 was really great. I mean, a lot of people hold this high on their list. I really enjoyed it. It might have been my first look at a first-person shooter, kind of. Great game. I don't know that it holds up well today. You know, playing it on the N64, that is, just because of the way the graphics look. But yeah, at the time it was great. I did rent that a lot as I got older. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and I have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. So I have all three of them on the 64. And really, I just bought these games because Tony Hawk Pro Skater holds, you know, like I said, it's a lot of nostalgia for me. But I did play these on the PS1, not the N64. I have them on the PS1 as well, I think. But yeah, I just find these cheap at flea markets, and I'm like, oh, I like Tony Hawk, so I buy them. Smash Bros. Probably my favorite. It's close, but it's probably my favorite N64 game. And I got this at Christmas with the N64, and man, countless hours of playing Smash, either single player or multiplayer with friends. If you've never played the original Smash, to me, this is my favorite. The next would be the GameCube version, Melee, and then after that, the Wii versions. Because it just didn't capture that magic that Smash captured at the time. There was nothing like it. It was one of a kind. So it wasn't a regular fighting game. This was different. This was much different, and it was special. Mario 64. Fun fact, never owned this game as a kid, but I did rent it. I actually rented it quite a bit, and I remember renting the console with this game. You used to be able to rent consoles from Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. And before I got an N64, Dad rented the console. And I think the game that they bundled with the console was Super Mario 64. So we did play it quite a bit. I never beat it as a kid. I have beaten it as an adult on the N64 and on the DS because they remade it on the DS. Believe it or not, I think the DS version's better, but that's to be expected. And this game is phenomenal. I still think this game holds up, and I think you should have no problem running through this game if you've never played it. And it's a really fun game, and it is possibly the best 3D platformer ever made. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. This was a good flight simulator. I guess you could call it that. You got to be in the mood to play flight simulators, which I'm not in the mood, but a lot of the times to play. But I do remember playing this as a kid. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so anything with Star Wars on it, I would try whether I liked it or not. And this is good, but you know, if I'm going to do flight, I'm usually going to do Star Fox. But this was a pretty decent game. Star Wars Episode Racer 1. This game was so much fun, but it was hard. This game was really difficult with, you know, the pod racers. They're so fast and so touchy, and man, I remember playing this, like renting this because I didn't own it, but I remember renting this and feeling like you know, it says right on the box, feel the force 600 miles per hour, 4 foot off the ground. You could literally, like, it was the first game where I felt like that. Now, you know, Wipeout was fast, but man, this game felt so fast. And this game is really cool. Like, I think this game holds up, actually. Like, I played it not long ago, and I think it holds up. South Park Rally. This is a kart racer from South Park. This is not actually really good. I'm a huge South Park fan, but, man, I mean, you can see, like, the graphics don't hold up very well. It's South Park, though, so it's funny. I'll give it that. And last game is Road Rash 64. This game's pretty good. It's a racing game, but you can hit the other players and stuff like that. And the multiplayer is pretty good. I do remember playing this with friends, split screen, because split screen that was the thing back then. So yeah, Road Rash is good. Solid game actually. THQ. But that's my N64 collection, and you know, there might be some missing on here. I'm still building my N64 collection, but these are mainly the ones that meant something to me as a kid, and now I'm just working on going back and getting boxes, or maybe getting some mini boxes and stuff. So thanks for watching.
He's the leader of the bunch.